The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
So, the secrets to aging youthfully. How do you want to be? Do you want this to be your life? Who are you? Who are you? I don't remember. Unfortunately, that is the way life is going to be for a lot of us. The statistics, which I'll show you in a minute, are frightening. I'm afraid for the younger generation, the younger you are, the more likely it's going to be that you're going to have a chronic condition because of all the pollutions and everything else that's going on in this world. So over half of us will have a chronic disease by the age of 60. I had a chronic disease, as you'll hear now, in my mid-30s. In fact, I had it since I was a teenager. 1 in 6 of us will have dementia by the age of 80. And that statistic, all these statistics are going up. Half of you will have cancer. And one person dies in the UK in every 4 minutes. So I've already lost 2 of you in the time that we've been in this room, which is very frightening. And then also one of you can't even remember that, what I just said, because that's what's going to happen to us. One person dies of heart disease every 8 minutes. And every 5 minutes, somebody will have a stroke. This could be you, it could be a loved one. I think probably every one of you in this room has got friends and relatives that are struggling with one of these diseases. And 1 in 16 will have diabetes. This doesn't have to be our future. We have options to improve. So let's just leave it on that for a minute for things. So just taking you back to the mid-1990s. I was in my 30s and I was driving to school to pick my children up, gripping the steering wheel of my car for grim death, and trying not to be sick or to pass out from absolute incredible pain in my abdomen from endometriosis. At that point, I actually didn't even know it was endometriosis. The doctors couldn't tell me. I kept going to the doctors. It's IBS. You're a woman. What do you expect? Put up with it. It will go away. It didn't. It just got worse and worse and worse. And the pain wasn't just there when I had a period. It was there the whole month. And actually, it turned out to be my reflexologist, who I was very reluctant to see to begin with because I thought it was a bit woo-woo and a bit odd, reflexology. She convinced me how important reflexology for me was. 1, she kept my hormones balanced. And 2, she was the one that diagnosed my endometriosis. I was amazed that she was able to tell that. I went to the GP and he went, maybe, maybe not. We'll send you to the gynecologist. And yes, I had full-blown endometriosis, and probably since the age of 15, that gradually got worse and worse. So I spent my days in agony, exhausted, struggling to look after the 2 young children, the home, the business, everything. Life was a struggle. So how many of you struggle on a day-to-day basis with exhaustion and fatigue? Does anybody in the room struggle with that right now? Lucky that nobody does. So welcome to those who've just come in. So I know what it's like to really, really struggle. And I'm a nurse by background, and I thought the medical model had all the answers. I was wrong. As I say, it was my reflexologist that diagnosed my endo, and it sent me on a journey of discovery, because the painkillers that the doctors prescribed me, all they did was make me drunk and hungover at the same time. Not something I would recommend to anybody, especially when you've got 2 young children to care for. So I decided that painkillers were a no-no. I needed to find something else that was going to work. And that started me on a journey of 20 years plus of discovery. And I think now I've found the answers. In fact, I know I've found the answers because I actually feel now at 57 healthier than I have done at any time in my adult life. I've got energy to go all day, and I'll be telling you a bit more about that as we go forward. So what I want to start off with is a technique I learned about 6 years ago. Boy, do I wish I knew this 20 years ago when I was really struggling. And I call it the pause. In Heart IQ coaching, which I'm a coach for, we call it a tune-in. So what I'd like you to do is just make yourselves comfortable. Maybe you want to put your things down and cross your legs. And if you feel happy to do so, just close your eyes for a moment. Rest. You look like you need the pause. Just make yourselves comfortable. This time is for you. So I just want you to take a nice, easy breath in. Breathing in a beautiful golden light from above you. Allowing that light to come down through your body, through every cell, relaxing you bit by bit, inch by inch. And let the breath leave by your feet. And take another beautiful breath, bringing in a beautiful golden light, whatever light you want from above, and let it come down through you. And now I want you to imagine you have roots growing deep, 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 down, down, down into the earth. And at the heart of these roots is a beautiful crystal. Imagine the crystal is a colour of light that you want right now. And breathe in that crystal light, bringing it up through your body into any area of stress, strain, discomfort, pain. Feeling it warming you, relaxing you. And I want you to just carry on being aware of your breath, but I really want you to take your focus to your body. How's your body feeling right now? Can you feel your feet on the floor? Your butt on the chair? Your back against the chair? Your hands in your lap? Do you have any pain anywhere? Just be aware of it and don't make any judgments about it. If you find yourself going back into your mind and that little voice that starts telling you stories, just take your awareness back to your body, feeling your butt on the chair, your feet on the floor. And just be curious as you look and search around your body. What's going on right now? What's there for you? Whatever's there is perfectly okay for this moment. Each moment passes. Now take your awareness to your emotions. What are you feeling right now? And it's possible to have totally conflicting emotions. You might be feeling joy. You might be feeling sadness. You might have curiosity, wonder, stress, pain. Whatever's there in your emotions, it doesn't matter. Again, if the mind keeps in with stories, let them go and just return to your body. Your body is your anchor. And take your awareness to your energy. Our energy is much more subtle. We're all energetic beings. And if you can't feel your energy, for me it's always like a hum. It's like background hum. A way to really feel it is to rub your hands together. And rub your hands together really hard. And then just move your hands slightly apart and you can sort of feel a charge between your hands. So that's your body energy. But you can, when you get really good at this, you can feel it all over your body and see where it gets stuck. Now I just want you to take your awareness to your intuition. And just wait and see if anything pops up for you right now. Any thoughts, any ways of being, what are you wanting right now? And it literally comes up when it's your intuition. It really is a pop-up. It comes from within you. When it's our mind chattering, it comes from the mind and comes down. And when it comes to the mind, it's always got shoulds and musts behind it. Intuition never says that. Intuition says what it wants and what it wants for you right now to feel good. And this could be small things. It might be a drink. It might be to change position in the chair.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
So now I want you to take a few nice, easy breaths. Breathing in the light from above or the crystal below, whichever feels the most comfortable to you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How was that? Sorry? Awesome, great, fantastic. And so, what I found with this one, it's practice. Start if you're doing it at home and you're new to this sort of thing. Just connect with your body to feel, because we get stuck in this mind chatter. Chatter. I always see it as a leprechaun on my shoulder that needs flicking off periodically. As I say, it's telling you shoulds and musts. It's either going in the story of guilt from the past or worrying about the future. What we want to be is in the now, and what we want right now in this moment. And by connecting with our body and our emotions and our intuition, it will tell you what you want. And as I say, it's usually quite simple. It's very rarely the Ferrari. The Ferrari is very good in the short term to drive around town. But, a week later, it's just a car. What we want is what we want right now for our bodies and for our health. Our bodies can heal themselves if we only listen to them and give them the right things that they need. They know, but we don't listen, we push it away. So on the cards that I put on your chair, I will be sending you this, if you fill it in, I will send you the meditation so you can keep practicing at home. When you get really good at it, you can literally just do a body scan, in and out. I can scan straight away. How's my body feeling right now? What does it need? And then act on it. And I can do it standing in the supermarket queue. I can do it sitting at traffic lights. I do it when I'm working in between each task, just to take that pause, that moment of stillness, that moment of time for me. So I really recommend that you practice it throughout your day, because it can make a huge difference to your productivity and your health. So say if you complete the form, that'd be great. So going back to my story, 2001, the pain had got to the point that it was absolutely unbearable. And I ended up having to have a hysterectomy, which threw me straight into menopause. And some of you ladies might be aware of the joys of menopause. I was already struggling with things like hot flushes from all the treatments I was having for the endo. Hence why I wrote my book, Beyond Hot and Crazy, A Radical Guide to Living Well with Menopause, because I know what it takes now to get out of hot flushes and stuff. And it's not always what we think it is, what the doctors tell us. So there I was, raging hot, but the pain went away. I cannot tell you how good it feels to have pain removed when you've had it, living with it day in and day out. So I struggled with, the pain went. I still got problems with the back issue from nursing, but the real severe pain disappeared. but I still had fatigue. And that only went fairly recently, actually, the fatigue. I had it for quite a few numbers of years. But life got back together. We were able to build up family memories again, have fun, get out with the kids. I could have a life again. And then in 2003, the end of 2003, my husband, who had always been fit and well, was diagnosed with leukemia. So we spent a year at Christie's, is a major cancer hospital up in Manchester. We literally lived at the hospital for weeks at a time. Sandy did a month on treatments. It was a month in hospital basically, and then and I used to spend every afternoon there, sometimes sleeping there. So that was our life for a year, and unfortunately he lost the battle in 2005. So I'm now left with two children. My children at this point are 10 and 14. Single mum, coming to terms with grief, still struggling with my fatigue. And previously, when just after my hysterectomy, I had the courage. I got really into personal development and did something called Landmark Forum. And that gave me the courage to go and do my psychology degree. And from that, I'm working at Christie's because they liked the fact I was a nurse and a carer. I got very involved with the hospital there. I went and trained as a counsellor, then as a coach. So I was just checking my time, racing along here. So I was able to really start embodying what I was learning. Training to be a coach and a counsellor really helped me realise that I needed to stop. If you come and do our health test in a few minutes, I'll be telling you a bit more about the personalised health in a moment. I'm an activator, and an activator is go, 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 go. And that was my coping strategy after my husband died. I filled my days with learning. We were doing a network marketing, something different to what I'm doing now. Training, I was doing a psychology degree, I was doing a coaching training, all back to back. My days were full. Thank God I actually did counselling training, because they said to me, you're about to burn out. You cannot keep up this pace. And so I was able to learn to slow down and really realise what was important to me, to what do I need for my health to start being focused and looking after myself. Self-care was not something in my book. How many of you do self-care on a daily basis? Not many of you, a few. I urge all of you to do self-care. It's the most important thing, and I'll be talking about that again a bit more in a second. So I want you to think right now, what's important to you in this moment? Is it money? Is it your home? Is it your relationships? Those nice shiny shoes, ladies, you know, the Jimmy shoes and stuff, there's some amazing ones out there. I can't even walk in the damn things or even put them on my feet. But, you know, love, career, what comes top? Chocolate. We've just had Valentine's Day. I think most, certainly as ladies, can relate to chocolates as a big one for what we want. Exercise. Who exercises on a daily basis? There's quite a few. That's good. It's great. But where is health on this list? Where do you put your health on this list? You really, really need to make your health your number one priority. If you don't want all those frightening statistics that we looked at the very beginning, health has got to come first. We only have this life, well, we might have other lives, but at this precise time, this is the life that matters. Do you want to do all these things, to have all these things? And I think most of us, the answer is yes. But if our health isn't in place, they don't work. As I say, I know what it's like to have pain. I know what it's like to lose a loved one. way too early because we weren't doing this. We were not making our health our priority. I was as guilty as the next person of going, I can push through this. I can get through this. No. If I hadn't started looking after myself, I wouldn't be in this room today, that's for sure. I wouldn't be able to stand up and talk to you in lots of ways. I was just not the person I was back then when I was telling you that story. I am totally 100% different because I've made health my number one asset. It's my top priority above everything else. And it's not, we think of self-care, especially the women. The men are slightly better at it than us, at taking times for ourselves. We've been taught from a very tiny age that we need to put other people first. But what happens when we fly? When we get on the plane, the air hostess is doing all the oxygen mask first. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first. Otherwise, you will die. And you're unable to help anybody else. So it's a really good analogy to remember in everyday life to put your own oxygen mask on first, which comes from self-care. And that is slightly different. What's self-care for each one of us? Every one of us is unique. So come along and take the personalised health test. That will help you work out what's really important to you. But it's knowing that you deserve to look after yourself. And by looking after yourself, the scales are balanced and you can give so much more. Does that make sense to everybody? So as I say, every one of us is unique. Even identical twins are unique. They might have the same genetic blueprint. Our genetics are just the blueprint. They're like the script of the play. It's what's set as the layout. But there's a thing called epigenetics. Only 5% of our genes are set in stone. 95% are affected by the environment, hence the epi means environment.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
So what we eat, when we exercise, how much sleep we have, what we're doing right now, literally as we're sitting in this room, your genes are switching on and off. They're getting affected by the epigenetics. It's happening all the time, and we want to get them all switched in the right direction. So knowing what's right for you really helps. Because one of the biggest causes of all disease, over 97 to 99% of disease, is caused by stress. And we all think of stress as what happens when we're busy working and we've got too many things to do. A lot of the stresses that you're having around your body are coming at you through everyday existence and not doing what your body needs. So if you're tall and slimmer, you need to have a slightly slower morning, and your food needs to be better. It's better to be well cooked rather than raw. So the Twiggy type figure should never eat lettuce, though they often do, because they need cooked food. So every time they eat raw food, it's stressing their body out. For me, if I have a lie-in in the morning, if I get at a place in the morning, it's stressing my body. If I live in a cold, wet environment, it stresses my body. Guess where I live? Macclesfield, right on the edge of the Peak District. Boy, does it rain. My garden is drenched at the moment. You need welly boots in there. It's horrendous. So I know that my body needs it to be hot and dry, or certainly dry. Dry makes a huge difference to me now. So I can't just pack up my bags and move to Arizona, though I'd actually quite like to. What I need to do is do things in my home that makes it feel warm. I've moved house recently, and I've now got a modern house rather than an old house. The house is warm. It's got orange colours. I dress now in brighter colours that make me feel warmer. You'll always find me in my layers. And yes, I have got my thermal vest on as well, because I need to be warm. For others of you, you're the opposite. You need to be cooler. And that's what I'm saying. Every one of us is unique. And with the personalised health programme, PH360, we can tell you precisely what you need for you. What foods you need, what exercise you need, what foods not to eat, how your mind works. The programme constantly blows my mind how it knows that I do some weird things. It seems to know that. And I'm sure a couple of my colleagues in the room would agree that the programme is incredible for that. It tells you your chronobiology, so what time of day you're supposed to be doing things. So for me, it's getting up early, doing some exercise. For Kat, it's a slower start in the morning, and just taking her time to get going, and she's at better exercising later in the day. What happens when we're stressed, I become Kat and want to lie in and vegetate, and she'll get really active and rush and try and get too much into the day and burn out. So we're all burning out for different reasons. So it's a fascinating subject, and I really urge you to come along and find out a bit more about it from us. And then the next thing, yes, the personalised health made a huge difference to my life. I, in fact, discovered it 3 years ago. And it was the first time I got rid of the fatigue. The fatigue actually went away for the first time ever. I really got my life back in a big way. And then last year, a friend who's over at the stand here, Colette, introduced me to redox signalling. My response was, redox what? Never heard of it. Thought she was just talking about a beauty product. And I was like, oh, not another beauty product that claims that you're going to reduce aging. But I started looking into this product. She was very clever. I love facts. And she sent me the blog of the doctor who stabilised the molecules. And it blew me away. And so the more I've learned about this, the more blown away I've got. By the day, I get blown away by this stuff. And decided I needed to try it for myself. By the end of the weekend, I was so blown away by the business and the science, I'd actually signed up to be an associate. So what is redox signalling? Our cells are all made up of salt water and lots of other things in between as well within the cells. And within our cells there's this thing called a redox signalling molecules. Now this is bigger in the science world today than DNA. In fact, James Watson, the founder of DNA, who got the Nobel Prize for it, is doing a lot of research into redox signalling. He's specifically looking at diabetes and what effects it's doing there. So what the redox does, it allows our body's cells to communicate within themselves and communicate with each other, saying, I'm a brain cell, I'm a heart cell. What happens as we age, and it starts around about the age of 20, if not a bit sooner, the amount of redox in our cells starts depleting, which means our signals don't work so effectively. So a great way of thinking of it is, when the redox is working perfectly, we've got the cell phone's working, it's sending out messages, I need help, and I need antioxidants, for example. You've had antioxidants in your food and your supplements, and it'll go, slurp them up, get a healthy cell, repair, or build a complete new cell if necessary. So that's if it's all working perfectly. What happens is things don't work perfectly, as I say. So it's basically like having your cell. Actually, my phone's Liz's got my phone. You've got your cell phone, and you've got a full battery, but you've got no signal. So you're not getting the messages through about what you need. So what we're able to do with the Redox is supplement, which is what Dr. Gary Samuelson did, was he was able to stabilise what's in our cells outside the body. So we can now take a supplement that allows your body to heal itself from the inside out with a drink and the outside in with a cream. And this amazing, it lets you, we know for a fact it turns the genes on in your system for these key ones: digestion, cardiovascular health, your immune system, your hormone balance. So these are 5 key genes that we know get changed within 8 weeks of taking the thing. So we've got the research on the stand for those scientists who want to know a bit more. So we know it's turning the cells in the right direction. And we all need that from, as we said, the statistics that we were just looking at are absolutely frightening. So if you want to look younger, the cream does it in 28 days, hence why it's called Renew 28. My skin is so much softer, I'm getting rid of wrinkles. It's great for burns, for pimples, everything and anything. Because it's allowing the body to heal itself, it's allowing you to heal yourself. Come and see the pictures. I've got loads of pictures I can show you. It's also fantastic for athletes. We've got a lot of Olympic athletes and top triathlon athletes on this product around the world who are actually getting medals and stuff. One guy was actually going to give up racing. He was 51. He was going to be our last race. He's now doing better times than he's ever done in his life. He's still racing. So it improves endurance, recovery. It gives a steadily fuel to your cells. So it's clinically proven. It's 100% safe because it's identical to our cells. For me, I no longer get stiff from doing Pilates. In a space of 2 weeks last month, given that I used to have a back injury, pain, fatigue, in the space of 2 weeks, I flew to the United States. My daughter lives there. I laid a floor in their family room. I shoveled their drive with snow. I went to a training with my own business mentor, 4 days in a classroom. That 4 days alone would have finished me off a few years back. I was hiking up mountains. So I don't know if you know Denver. It's a mile high to start with. And I can hike actually easier there than I can in the UK because the climate's right for me. I then flew on to Scottsdale to boost up my heat and a friend in Atlanta. I was home literally 2 days before flying out to Copenhagen for another 4-day conference. I couldn't have done that without PH360 and ASEA. It's totally transformed my life. And I'd love you all to find out how it can transform yours. So you have a choice. Can you see that? I've got the light into it. So you have a choice. Do you want a life of pain, dementia, cancer, diabetes, weight issues, exhaustion, unable to fulfill your dreams or play with your grandchildren? Or do you want health, happiness, vitality, reaching your dreams, looking good, and the energy to play hard or work hard? So you have the choice. Which is your choice? The pain, the exhaustion, or the life that you can fulfill your dreams and do what you want to do? So I'm offering you today a last stop as an extra thing, is a last stop discovery session. This last stop discovery session is a session with me. It's an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of my time and your time to actually look what you need for you. It's totally free for us to explore how I can help you regain your health and be healthy for the rest of your lives. So let's do this together. Together we can make a difference. A difference to your health, your future, and the health of your family and the planet and everybody else. So please, sign in the card that you've got on the thing. Just put stop as well next to your name. And I'd love to book a session with you to find out how we can help you. We can even schedule it today if you want to come and see us at the stand. So if you come at the stand, come and see us. Find out how we can help you. So has anybody got any questions? I just got a mic here.
What stand are you at?
Well, C28. We're literally right at the door.
Right,
you can't miss us. If you walk out, keep walking, you'll fall into us.
Okay, and you mentioned something about card.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't get one of those. Okay, thank you. I'm all good now.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks.
Any other questions? No? But if you think of anything, we're going to be here all weekend, so please come along and see us. I'd love to show you some of the pictures about what see us doing for people and how it can actually talk to you, how it can actually help you specifically. So thank you very much for coming. So if you just want to leave your cards, we'll pick them up. Thank you.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.